Welcome back, my internet train friends. It has been such a fun week, and for a couple of reasons. First, a big thank you to everyone who's been subscribing to this channel. We hit a major milestone this week of 1,000 subscribers. So I want to do something special to celebrate that. We're probably going to look at a live stream, and I'll let you know more about that as I get closer to it. There's also another huge announcement, which is the Strasburg Railroad Museum up in Pennsylvania is going to be hosting the 611 this summer, which is perfect timing because, as I said last week, we're going to be doing a video today on the J Class. We're going to look at 3 different eras of the J Class, starting with the post-war era, the MPC era, and the modern era. So grab a snack, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Thank you all so much. Let's get to it.
Attention Norfolk Southern employees. The 611 steam excursion is approaching the station. Please be ready to move. Good morning and welcome aboard Norfolk Southern's 21st Century Steam program. Our excursion today is being pulled by the famous Norfolk & Western J Class 611. Souvenirs and snacks will be available in the commissary car located in the middle of the train.
The dialogue you just heard is from the excursion version of the MTH Premier 611, and that was actually spoken by Rick Moorman, the former CEO of Norfolk Southern. So like he said, souvenirs and snacks are available. So we'll call this my snack, and we'll call the train my souvenir. The J Class is such an iconic piece. From its introduction in the post-war era of Lionel in 1957 to the most recent high-tech version from today, it is a must-have in any collection. Lionel first introduced this engine at the suggestion of a customer in 1957, and you'll see that the version I have is the earliest representation. And the reason you can tell is because the stripe on my tender does not stretch the length of the entire tender. There was a second version, which is actually considered to be more rare, where the stripe goes from the front to the back of the tender. Lionel actually took the liberty of giving this their own number, the 746, and in the case of mine, it's the 746W. This engine includes magnet traction, and it runs very well for being one of the older engines in my fleet. In 1981, Lionel released the 8100, or the 611 version of the J Class, with their MPC lineup. Proportionally, it's very similar to its post-war counterpart, but it featured the sounds of steam, as well as some smoke effects where the steam shoots out of the cylinders, which is one of my favorite features of this engine. You'll also notice the paint is glossy, and the coloring is slightly different. The MPC era J Class is one of the more desirable models of that era, and I was very fortunate to find one for my collection. The scale version that I'm running tonight is the 2016 MTH Premier PS3 version, and it's modeled after the excursion service for this engine. The passenger cars I'm pulling are not the consist from the excursion, but they are scale passenger cars made by MTH. Like all MTH Premier engines, the detailing on this engine is really something. It's just a beautiful engine. Its proportions are great, the coloring is great, and it has so many little unique details that really match the real-life counterpart. And one of the things that I think stands out to me are the side rods. If you look at a lot of MTH Premier engines, they use the same stock side rods, but MTH used a more rounded side rod on this engine that matches the real-life 611. Almost as fun as seeing the differences between the engines are hearing the differences between the engines. Let's listen to the whistle of each, going from post-war to MPC to modern, so you can hear the difference. This is always a lot of fun. Post-war. Takes me right back to the Christmas tree every time I hear that. Now let's listen to the MPC. So cool. The MPC is always an interesting one to listen to. And our scale version with this big bold whistle. That's the stuff right there. How about post-war and modern? Let's check it out. That's the fun stuff right there. I'm sorry. It's just the fun stuff. All right. Let's run them. Let's do it.
We'll need to send out the dog catcher if we don't stay on schedule.
They got to send out the dog catcher.
On behalf of Norfolk Southern, the Virginia Museum of Transportation, and the Fire Up 611 Committee, we sincerely appreciate your support and for riding with us today. All aboard!
Like I said at the beginning of this video, I can't thank you all enough for your support of this channel. It has been such a joy making these videos and sharing the hobby with so many. I've already met so many great people and look forward to meeting so many more of you. Coming up on the channel, we'll have a couple of other updates around new pieces of the collection. As you can see, my GS5 returned from Lionel and it's working like a champion. And I look forward to bringing more videos. Be looking out for the live stream as well. I'll announce that when we get closer to the time. Thank you all so much for checking it out. My name is Chris, and this is RVP Trains. Have a great weekend.